Hey guys, so this is our last screencast of the semester, and today we're going to be talking about integrating technology and fostering independence in our students. So, today I'm specifically going to be talking about ADHD, and three characteristics I've found about students with ADHD is they often have difficulty staying on task because they focus on so many different things at once. Students with ADHD typically have difficulty remembering material and communicating their thoughts because their brain is working in overdrive and they're thinking of multiple things at once. And as soon as they think about one thing, they move ahead to the next idea before they've finished thinking about the first idea. And generally, these students are kinesthetic learners, so they learn best by either walking around and talking about their notes, or, they need something to move their hands with to keep them moving and help them remember this stuff because they learn by movement and doing. And what I found about Public Law 101-476 is it's also known as the Person First Law. And what this does is it makes sure that the child is recognized first and the disability is second. So the disability is not defining the child or what the child is able to do. So phrases containing the word handicap before the child or the child's name were all deleted. And in this law, we introduced two new categories, autism and traumatic brain injury. And this also introduced the policy that transition services need to be enacted upon the student reaching their 16th birthday. So that helps them transition from school to normal life. So what are the legislative requirements for assistive technology? The website didn't work, so I had to go look it up on IDEA's website, which is totally cool. And basically what assistive technology is defined as is it's an item, piece of equipment, or system used to improve, increase, or maintain the learning of a child with a disability. And this does not cover any surgically implanted devices or things used to replace those devices. And this technology must be selected according to the child's disability needs and the environment around the child, both at home and in the classroom. And the district must provide not only the training for the teachers, children, and the parents of the child in how to use the device, but they also need to assist in selecting the device and paying for the device, fitting the child for the device along with maintenance of the assistive technology, and coordination with other interventionary services, assistive technologies, and anyone who's going to be working with this child long term. And the best part is, especially for people like me, is assistive technology does not have to be high tech to work. So, LiftScribe Smart Pens. These are a cool little device. It's a Bluetooth thing and it works with an app. And basically, this helps students organize and tag notes on the app and on a device. And students can also use these pens to search for their notes. Everything is automatically sent to the app, and the special paper that you write on with the pen recognizes what the student wrote and then transforms it from their handwriting to text, which is really helpful in helping the students to sometimes be able to read over their notes. So this would help students with fine motor control skills. So if their handwriting isn't the best, sometimes they can't read their own handwriting. So this will make it a little bit more cleaned up for you. And I actually really liked this pen. So I found the Firefly 3000 because this website was also not valid, so I just went and found Firefly 3000 plus. So the pros of this particular tool is the reading comprehension allows for you to enlarge the text. It can read the text to the students. You can highlight the text in words, and it has multiple languages, so it can fit any student who might speak a different language or who might have difficulty understanding English. And the writing section includes dictionaries, which can help increase your vocabulary, synonyms, which also help with your vocabulary, highlighting, a bookmarking tool, and a study guide tool, which is really helpful for kids to go over their information. And it can also help with note-taking. And another thing it has is this really cool text testing thing where you can kind of create like a little Quizlet type thing for your students to test and see how much they remember. Now, the cons of this are students who are blind definitely can't use this because they can't see it, but they could have the reading stuff if it can read to them. And students who have difficulty taking notes or organizing their notes, and students like me who might have issues with technology also might have trouble using this. So you just need to keep that in mind when you're thinking about implementing it in the classroom. So the Universal Design for Learning, this is a really cool framework of how to teach, which both optimizes the teaching and the learning of the student based on research about how we as humans learn. So this includes the how of learning, so how to stimulate our brains and motivate the learning and how we learn. How to motivate learners, so this includes how to present information in different and resourceful ways for these students. And it also includes how to differentiate different ways for your students to express what they know and what they've learned so that you know how effective you did as a teacher. So it, again, just to recap that, it's useful to understand how we best learn to optimize the best presentation of material and allows us to differentiate learning activities and ways for students to tell us what they know and don't know. So this can actually hit your differentiation and modification sections of the IEP. So what's the focus reading card? This one was actually really cool. It's customizable to each learner. And what it does is it allows you to isolate a sentence or two or small blocks of text, and it blurs out unnecessary words to help you focus. So this is something that works with like your environment and the noises. And it uses color filters to decrease your visual stress. So for people, like sometimes white pages can be icky, or they like it can give some people headaches and stuff. So what it does is it also can allow you to unblock learning pathways by having those filters. It helps improve focus, tracking, fluency, and it helps minimize distractions again with those filters. And the best part about this thing is it's a very low-tech solution, so I am all in favor of it. So how do these different assistive technologies foster independence? By giving the students assistive technology, they can learn how to adapt to how their disability functions in their life. So being able to adapt will allow students to figure out and learn how they best learn. Giving tools to teach students how to learn and organize their materials allows them to just be more independent because they know how to organize it, they know how to put it together, they know how to go find the material, they know where to look to find the material, and it can help them remember. Assistive technology also makes it easier for us as teachers to differentiate instructions for special needs learners, so you can do it in different tiers for instruction, or you can go ahead and you can just blow up the text, you can highlight the text. There's a whole lot of different things that you can do. And assistive technology is also extremely helpful for students with poor motor skills. So like if you can't write, being able to maybe have talk to text or to be able to type your notes is also really helpful. So it just kind of helps, especially if they have difficulty in reading their own handwriting. If it's recorded in text, that makes it easier. So 3 things that I learned during this entire class is the IEP is your most important tool to help the child in the classroom. Not only does it hold you accountable, but it gives an attainable and reachable goal for the student to make sure that they can increase that grade level equivalency. They can make sure that they're learning the things that they need to learn. It also gives the students access to services that they need and modifications necessary for them to succeed in the academic setting. And it's also your leg to stand on legally, and it gives the students the right to learn, and it is just so important, and I love it. Number 2, students with learning disabilities will require more patience because a lot of times they need multiple repetitions of material in order to remember it, and then helping them get to the spot where they stop just memorizing the material and they're able to apply that knowledge. So that's going to take a lot of patience, but when it actually happens, it's so cool and it's so awesome and it's so worth all that time and all that effort and all the frustration and all the tears. It's totally worth it. And the last thing that I learned that teachers just need to understand is that each child and what they need is going to be different. And it's our job to figure out what works best for that child, and it's our job to adapt to fit that child. And the best part is it's a puzzle, so you get something new every year, and it's so much fun to figure that out. So I had a lot of fun in this class. I had so much fun in my placement, and that's the end of the screencast, guys. Have a good night.